Okay, so quick video. I hadn't planned on doing this one, but it just came about that over Thanksgiving, my uncle, who always has access to very interesting things, gave me this old sword blade. Um, and he doesn't know a lot about it, but what he was able to tell me is that it was unearthed on a farm in the Hudson River Valley in New York. Um, that happened about 40 years ago. And so it being unearthed was 40 years. And for the most part, he thinks it probably came about, sometime, some Revolutionary War type thing. Now, looking at the blade, and as much as I can gather about it just based on shape and size and design, I think that it is a small sword. Specifically, I think that it might be a French design. Oddly enough, there is a very interesting kind of replica of a similar sword that actually looks to be very, very close to this blade design made by Del Tin. Um, but it's lacking a lot of information. Now, obviously, it's missing its hilt components, and it's notable the tang is actually very, very thin. And I don't know enough about small swords to really know if that was a common thing or not. But it is a very, very thin tang, and so there's some questions I have about that. I'm really not able to answer. What I do find rather interesting are a couple of features you can see on this blade. One is on the tang. There appears to be what is chiseled in Roman numerals. It's really hard to tell. It looks like there's an X, a V, and a couple of I's chiseled in there. So it's either saying 17 or 18. But what's odd is there's also potentially one more, which then kind of breaks the whole Roman numerals concept, because that's not how you spell out 19. Um, and then also on the blade, specifically, there are a couple of wear points that are kind of interesting. One has kind of a circular wear point with kind of a parallel line to the edge going out on either direction, and you actually see that on both sides of the blade, as well as a little bit further down the blade. You also have parallel wear marks again on both sides of the blade. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that that is actually an indicator of a scabbard use, and that there was some sort of regular wear that the scabbard put onto the blade. But I'm not an expert and I don't know. So it's rather interesting. I'm trying to find out more information about it. Hopefully, some people in the sword community will be able to say something about it and tell me a little bit more information, and maybe I'll find out a little bit more. But I thought it was interesting, and I figured I would share it.